First, I would like to start by thanking TMS, Trevor, and the team for having me on the panel. It's been a while. So, yeah, it's a lot of changes. What Marlink do with ICT, information, communication, and technology. Yeah, we transfer ourselves, not only telecommunications, satellite communication, but we're heavily also into the technology, cyber, and data collection, and so on. So Marlink, just a quick, Marlink journey started 7 years back as a radio communication services. Then it evolved with the years to build the first VSAT Maritime in the Nordic Sea for one of the rigs. That was in the late 80s. And then continue to evolve and grow on the satellite network for the past years. Today, we have a strong satellite network to provide VSAT for maritime, shipping, energy, rigs, and so on. So, as I mentioned, we continue evolving with the technology growing. So in the past few years, with the more satellite new technology like LEO, low Earth orbit, and other medium also Earth orbit, we secure that also the industry continue to improve connectivity by having higher throughput. Thanks to the technology, Starlink is famous now with Elon Musk introducing a fast way of launching satellites, making today 10,000 satellites in the orbit. So this accelerated, in fact, the reach of the vessel, as we call it, a satellite like a fiber. So this is one part, and as I mentioned, in fact, many other players are coming with whom we also integrating our network to work with, such as Eutelsat, OneWeb, and Kuiper by Amazon, which is coming in 2028. So that's on this part. But as I mentioned, also we want to make sure, in fact, whatever we provide as connectivity, it is secure, protect network. Nowadays, not only IT, but also OT network, and where we're gonna see, in fact, in my coming slides, showing the mainly on the cyber and then OT data collection. So shipping trends and challenges, I think we heard a lot of cases since morning on the different, whether the economy, geopolitics, with the some trade route has been blocked, ports, sanctions, China and others. So these are one element, but if I look mainly on the technology, cyber, yes, been a challenge with all the risk and the operation that has the impact on, but also there is a measures to be taken, and this is really what I'm gonna show in the next slide on today. Simple things can be done, like to really ensure that the asset on board is fully resilient, following the framework and then the regulation that's also been progressing here on the cyber. Digitalisation also a challenge today, especially with the existing build, with the different makers on board, and how to secure the clean data transferred, rather than the garbage data. So this is also a challenge, but we will see how it can be turned into also an opportunity when it comes to the operation. I touch on the crew. I would say from connectivity, what we have seen, the trend that crew has been demanding and required to be, well connected with a high-speed internet. And that was the driver for selecting a job. Green, we talk about decarbonisation as well, and the whole capital investment about the new technology, which we will see as will continue to evolve. So to zoom into the, am I on there? Yeah, no, I think okay. So just before the slides have been shifted. So touching on the regulation, with cybersecurity, we've seen that really the IMO and thanks to the class and different society, we been progressing, and we see a different framework in place. MSC 428, we see very well that, the safety management system, taking into account any cyber risk management, so it's already in place since 2021. There is also the NIST framework. What does it mean, this circle that you see, that it is setting a clear framework for any IT, whether IT, OT network, to be following. We say we identify, we protect, we detect, and then we resolve and recover. So this process needs to be well followed. And then, of course, the NIS2 is touching on the EU recommendation to make sure any company dealing with, an EU company are following also the framework. And then last, not least, on the regulation as well, we see very well also on the UR class society, I've done also this part to ensure on the UR 26 and UR 27 when it comes to the OT assets is also, the mandatory, processes there. I move to the, so this is the 3 blocks that we see here. Maybe there is IT people here, but I want really to address this to non-IT and to show that it's really to understand today when it comes to cybersecurity, the simple steps to be taken, in fact, in order to ensure that really we are complying with the NIST framework. So if we look at the middle block, we see we're protecting, in fact, and many of you, they are doing today, for sure, the infrastructure on board. Again, IT, OT. So you have antivirus on the, we call it endpoint on the PC. There is a firewall. Many of the vessels having this. So it's already, if we look at this middle part, it's already complying. We move to the block at the right, which is what we call cybersecurity defense. Today, many believe that I have my firewall, I have my antivirus, and then I'm protected. Is not the case. A lot of malwares are reaching the PCs and are not detected. So, and that's a role here when you're having what we call it a SOC, Security Operations Center, that takes the logs coming from the network routers and stuff, again, either IT or OT, to make sure, they are triggering any incident that may happen and take reaction immediately as it's happening. And what we see with IT sitting in the office, even if there is a CISO cybersecurity officer sitting in the office, this is a lot of work and a challenge. We see that, yes, attacks happen, although there is a firewall and antivirus and stuff in there. So this is important. And then this is where, for instance, Marlink, as a MSSP today for cyber, we have a SOC that is very specialized into the maritime. So we very focused on the attacks that happen to the maritime. So we learn from this, analyze it, and make sure, anything similar in the future, if any attempt to happen, we're able to take the right measure. And this is very well to highlight. Having a SOC maritime is way important than going and having a SOC. Maybe sometimes, the corporate office of the shipping company say, I'm handling. Yeah, it's very important to have a SOC maritime base. Looking at the block to the left, this is something also that's important when it comes to doing some assessment to the network, how resilient my network is. Again, by doing penetration tests, I see how, if I'm a hacker, I can attack, and so on. Move to my last slide. Yes, I see you. Yeah, just the last. So also the opportunity on the data analytics. So as we've seen today, maybe 2 main pillars: fuel optimization and engine performance, with all, the challenge or the requirement from decarbonization, etc. We see the pain is there, on how to do this. If I touch, for instance, on, as I mentioned earlier, collecting data from different assets on board. Yeah, so maybe not the right sensors to do it, etc. That's where, from our side, we came up with what we call it a bridge link, is a universal switch that tags all assets on board with sensors, and then help to collect the data in real time, instantaneously, and collect the clean data, only to ensure that the data that you're showing by your service provider for data analytics, what we've seen here, or maybe your own internal, is really accurate in showing the, the right statistics. So that's in summary. To conclude, I think technology is proving that it comes to shape the industry into improvement and better. So thank you.